on Brooklyn Bridge with no tourists, no people everywhere. The last toilet paper. Kind of losing track of the weeks and the days. Look at this! It's literally shining. This is my morning commute. I don't know why I'm so upset, but we had the first New York City curfew since World War II. The year 2020 started off like every other year, but this year felt different. It felt special. It was a new decade. It was such a nice number, 2020, so exciting. I went to the March for Life in Washington, D.C., celebrated my friend Ev's birthday. I remember we were all sitting around talking about how crazy it was that Kobe Bryant had just passed away and his daughter in the helicopter accident. And then went to some gatherings. Everything was normal, being able to be around people. Went to a James Taylor concert, which was so incredible. Celebrated my sister Hillary's birthday. And then March continued. Today is Thursday, March 12th, and honestly things have just been getting crazier and crazier. Everything's closing down, Broadway's closing. Yesterday Trump made this announcement that all travel from Europe is canceled for the next 30 days. The NBA season is canceled. Tom Hanks and his wife were in Australia and they were reported to have coronavirus. Today is my last day of work in the office for the next 2 weeks. What if I secretly have the coronavirus
First
now?
of all, stop
and I'm
saying
spreading
that
it.
You secretly have
I don't know because I don't have symptoms.
No, but you would know.
The shelves are looking very empty and I'm really regretting giving up wine for Lent right now. Completely empty. We are now prepared for World War III. We're gonna survive this. So it was just announced that public schools are closed through April 20th. This is our last meal for who knows how long.
I've been in New York City my whole life since I was 5 months old, since January 1983, and I have never experienced anything like this.
Day one, working from home. They announced last night that like all bars, all restaurants, everything was closing down. Luckily I live next to the river so I can go out for a walk. Just the idea of being cooped up in my apartment for 2 weeks is making, or longer perhaps. I think it's really important that we try to make ourselves feel as normal as possible. This is something we can look back on later in our life to be like, wow, I have been through something crazy. This is my morning commute from here to here. Usually this is full of bread. Oh my gosh, we found it. The last toilet paper. Yes. So they say you should stay home as much as possible. The sidewalks are kind of narrow and it's impossible to keep the 6 feet distance because there's always people passing right by you. Hi friends. Apparently I talk to animals now. Something that's really been helping me during this time is keeping a planner on my desk and writing down everything I do in the day because I find that the days can really start blending together. This is my outfit for today. I don't know why I've never come to sit out here before.
Like the disciples in the gospel, we were caught off guard by an unexpected turbulent storm.
At 7 p.m. tonight, across New York City, there's going to be a 7 p.m. clap for all the essential workers. One of the really good outcomes of all of this is that I'm truly learning to be present because when you think about it, we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know our job situation. All we have is this moment. We just have one day at a time, and today is another beautiful day and a beautiful sunset. They removed the nets. It kind of makes sense that they have to do this to prevent the groups. This is quarantine week 2. Coping mechanisms. Yes! This is amazing. So we're now entering into week 3 of working from home. Number 1 top 10 in the US today is this show called Tiger King. I have not left my apartment in 4 days. I'm starting to reach the point of insanity of spying on the neighbors. Getting ready for Palm Sunday Mass. We're gonna be live streaming. We have music.
My brothers and sisters are crying. I receive calls. Where is God? Has God left us? Has He abandoned us? No, God has not abandoned us.
It's honestly such a blessing that I can come to Mass during this time. And there's only a few people, like the people who are helping out. If you have to read, if you're helping out with live streaming. This is the line for the grocery store. So apparently they let people go in waves. Family painting day. So
I added way too much dark blue. Hey, here's mine.
I think we're in week 5 of quarantine, kind of losing track of the weeks and the days. Every night at 7 p.m. everyone comes out and starts clapping outside their windows. There's still so much beauty and joy found in the midst of darkness and pain. It's so weird seeing the roads so empty at like such a normally busy time. As you can see, only essential businesses are open right now. I set up my star projector to play against the brick wall. I have space, I can do stargazing, stars, movie. Welcome to week 6, 7, and 8, 9. I don't know what week we're on now. I can't keep track anymore. I've been getting so sick of just drinking the same K-cup watery coffee at home. Pretty much any store that's still open. They have lines outside, only a few people in at a time. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Getting a glass of rosé to go in New York. I feel like I'm in New Orleans where you can just get alcohol to go. It's so fun. Made it to Times Square. Yeah, I really was curious to see what Times Square would look like with no tourists. Yeah, pretty much everything is closed down. I wonder how long it's gonna take for things to get back to normal. This is eerie. This is just a weird feeling because there's literally no one on this street. Me and one other person up there. Saturday night in New York City, Broadway, closed. So fun. This is the first time I've ever ridden my bike in Times Square before. Since bars are closed, this is the bar experience. We're preparing for reopening. They're actually reopening daily masses. There's caution tape along the pews. I can't believe I can ride a bike across Brooklyn Bridge. Why don't you come over, Valerie? Being on Brooklyn Bridge with no tourists, no people everywhere. This week really took a turn for the worst. I was scrolling through Facebook and I kept seeing these articles of a story of a man named George Floyd who was killed by an officer.
George Floyd! George Floyd! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! George Floyd! Peaceful protest! Black Lives Matter!
Here with Bridget.
In the name of Jesus, break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. Say her name! Breonna Taylor!
We had the first New York City curfew since World War II. The protests have been continuing. There's been fireworks every single night. We're now in phase 2, I think it is, of New York City reopening. So as you can see, a lot of restaurants started doing outdoor seating now. There's starting to be so much traffic. Things are looking back to normal again. Many people out here are having birthday parties, sweet 16s, graduation parties, like setting up little tents along the river. I'm gonna go this weekend without social media. So starting now, I just turned off my phone. it's so freeing that I feel like in a way, I know this might sound dramatic, but it's like I have my life back. I don't know, it's crazy how addicted we are to social media and how good it is to take a rest from it. We're entering month 6 of working from home. I remember back in March, we never thought it would last this long. We were like, oh yeah, by July, everything's gonna be back to normal. Well, it's August and here we are. Still can't eat in a restaurant. Currently heading to get on the train for the first time in 5 months. On a normal day of the work week, like on the weekday, it's usually packed here. There's literally only 3 other people on this train right now. I feel like so much creativity is fueled through this, that artists, musicians, poets, whatever your art form might be, it's really cool to see how creativity can just thrive in such a beautiful way. I needed to get out of my neighborhood and do something different. Living in New York, it's really important to find ways to have moments of peace and be a little bit away from it all sometimes. I think during a time when so many people are struggling with mental health and uncertainty of the future, it's so important to just get out of your head and come out into nature. You have to know where to go and you have to know when to take a break. This is my second time taking the subway since March. I have never in my life seen a subway train car this clean before. Like, look at this, it's literally shining. During quarantine, I feel like we've all been pretty much in our routines, doing the same thing more or less every day. And I was like, what can I do this week? How can I commit this week to trying new things? Met up with my friend Vicky and we enjoyed the music. This is a bike path I've never been down before, close to where I live. Made it to George Washington Bridge. I don't think I've ever been to this little area before. Alright, so tonight I'm doing something new. I'm doing a drawing night where you draw a model and it's going to be over Zoom, and I'm actually late right now, it's 8 o'clock. Yes, I bought a hammock. We're heading to the boat. I'm going to try to get some food that I've never tasted before. So we were walking up the street and we saw the flames bursting out of the building, so it must have been just now.
The inside of this building is still wooden. It's still all wooden walls, all wooden inside.
Alright, so we are at Vicky's house now. She lives next to, kind of next to the building where it was burning. Perfect fall day to get lost in Central Park. This is my favorite time of year. It's really cool to take your time and actually explore Central Park because there's so many little hidden gems and little facts you can learn along the way that if you're usually in a hurry, you'll miss. I got an email from HR saying that I have a meeting tomorrow at noon. Not really any details or information, just see you tomorrow at noon. And apparently some of my other coworkers, I mean, I'm assuming all my coworkers got the same thing. We just have all meetings tomorrow with HR, so we'll find out tomorrow. For now, just enjoying my last night, watching the sunset, drinking my Blue Moon. Came out to watch the sunset. I am officially laid off. I feel weirdly like a mixture of sadness and also at peace because I know when things like this happen, it's a transition period. Heading into my old office to gather my things. I am leaving New York, and honestly, it's been so sad for me to go through this decision process. For now, or for the time being, I'm gonna go to Florida. It's coming up on my last week in New York. I'm so sad. So I've been just trying to make the most of my last week, doing all the tourist things. that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos every time I post. I post a new video every Monday and every Friday, and I'm now in Florida, so stay tuned for more Florida adventures.